were raised by a single mother. When I was about 4 years old, our house burned down. Insurance didn't cover paying off that mortgage. So fortunately, my mom was a nurse and she was able to work a ridiculous amount of hours, some 80 hours a week, and pay off that mortgage while still finding us another place to live. So I've been fortunate to have a lot of really good role models in my life. Obviously, my mom being at the top of that list. Okay. When all is good, why rock the boat when my child support's low? Yes. Okay. We know who it was filed by.
She always very passionately said, I'm going to be an attorney. And she'd look at me with dead set eyes, and I 100% believed her. And not only just becoming an attorney, but actually being a good attorney that is going to make a difference. Erin's passion sets the bar for everyone else in our office. So we're at home on a Saturday night, it's 8 o'clock, Erin's phone starts buzzing. It says a lot of our staff who's feverishly working to prepare for the cases that we're going to handle that next week. They share Erin's passion, and it's contagious, and it's been spreading through our firm.
All right, thanks for staying so late. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. I love doing family law. I feel like I really help people every day. I feel like we really make a difference for people, and I feel like families are benefited from the work we do. I started this firm with $2,500 in my bank account, and in the course of a year, I've helped over 200 families find a way to get through the turmoil that they're experiencing. I'm Erin Morse, and I'm here to help your family find your new normal.
What should I do?
What should I do?
What should I do?
What should I do?
What are my rights? What are my rights?
What are my rights?
A legal course of action.
A legal course of action.
A legal course of action.
A legal Morse of action.
Come at this hour.
How are we looking?
We are looking beautiful. I mean,
Let's go live.
we are live, and I know you're probably doing it live on.
I'm gonna try.
You got your Instagram?
I don't know, Facebook, Instagram.
Instagram, because I know you got a lot of people on your personals.
I have more people. Bother them.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a brand new episode of Legal Morse of Action. My name is Patricio, aka Rocky, and as always, I never say the aka Rocky on this one. As always, I am joined by attorney Erin Morse. How you doing, Erin?
I am exactly as I should be.
We haven't done a show for a little bit over a month.
Oh my God, don't tell everybody.
I know, but we've actually got hit up from some of our clients.
I know. We got a lot of people actually who were like, why haven't you been on the podcast? What's going on?
Well, a lot has been going on behind the scenes and behind court doors that not a lot of people are privy to understand what's going on. But I think like today is the day.
Today's the day.
Today's the day. We're doing it live, people.
The tank is clean.
But yeah, we're finally back, and this episode we're gonna do a little catch up. Make sure you guys are up to date with what we've been doing, and of course, we have the questions. And of course, if you're watching, or if you know someone who is dealing with a family legal matter of some sort, go ahead and share them, tag them, let them know, hey, I got this really cool attorney on Facebook and YouTube right now that you should listen to, and it's gonna give you some free legal advice. But right now,
I'm saying.
with all that being said, there are some people who know, some people who don't know, and I'm just gonna leave it to you.
There might be some news in this show. I'll decide when we say it.
Okay, that fair and valid. Let me do that. Thank you, Billy Floyd, for he just messaged me and was like, "There's a little bit of an echo, and I know where it's coming from, and I just took care of it. So if you're still watching, bro, let me know." And
Fix it.
oh, no, I know I fixed it. I know exactly what it was.
I believe you.
How about now? How about now? Anyways, we've had some crazy cases. We've had some change in the office.
Crazy cases.
We had a change in the office a few
Lawyers
weeks.
are crazy. I'm fighting with everybody today.
I know, and
I had a few fights today.
no, the fight that I was privy to, I'm not going to say eavesdropping, but you couldn't.
I mean, you're in the office, so you're a part of, the cases and you're part of what happened. So you heard.
Yeah, no, I heard loud and clear, and I heard how some POS OC was just being a bitch.
Letters.
I know, and that's
Yeah.
I'm not an attorney. I am just a legal assistant. I can say stuff like that, but am I far from the truth?
No. God, I don't even want to describe it because it's like shocking.
How often do you have to deal with an opposing counsel that's kind of a bitch?
Fucking often. There are a few of them. There goes our booth.
There goes our boost.
Often, they really are unreasonable with,
Shout out to Billy Floyd, who just said perfect.
I don't know, terribly unreasonable with what's going on. So I guess we'll talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
I am due to have a baby. In approximately a month. Yep. So if you're watching, there's really a baby.
There's a baby in there.
So I filed with the court.
Mhm.
There's a rule of judicial administration that entitles me to a certain number of weeks of leave
Yeah.
so that I can, I don't know.
I mean, you're giving birth to a human being. You should have time to yourself and the new human being.
Heal.
I don't want to say it like that, but yeah.
No, it is. It's a traumatic thing, and your body goes through a lot.
Mhm.
You have a baby, and you need to heal, and you need to kind of also account for if there's any complications,
Oh, yeah.
right? So, merely having 4 weeks, because also you get a due date. Babies aren't necessarily always born on their due date.
We all have a little plot going on.
Hear any moms communicate. Tell me if your baby was actually born on your due date, okay? And any moms who are watching here, was your child born on their due date? My older child was not.
How far was it, like before or after the actual due date?
Before.
Before. Okay.
So about a week before. So, and in general, it's pretty safe to assume that you could have a 2-week window
Mm-hmm.
around when the baby could be born.
Okay.
Right? 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after, whatever. So when I file for leave, I try to make sure I account for that.
Mm-hmm. And we've actually, there have been some occurrences where it's not opposing counsel that gives us a little feedback, but there have been some internals that have given some feedback, like their opinion in a sense. And I'm just saying that as lightly as possible because some people can't be considerate. I mean,
I know.
you're there's a baby coming. Come on.
I said in this phone call, this really upset this other attorney, but in this phone call, Arthur, I will have a interjection. I only handle family law cases. I have handled other types of law with success. I don't like them as much. I enjoy family law, and I like to make sure I narrow my focus there.
When you were a law clerk, you actually handled a lot of business and corporate, right?
I actually did complex business litigation, so you're right, business and corporate. And I actually when I became an attorney, that's what I practiced. And I'm a member of the federal, like I can practice in federal courts. And I took a federal case as well at one time.
And how that
Federal complex business litigation case.
even just that term right there, it's like that's a lot of words.
And my client was the defendant.
Okay.
Or the respondent. I think he's the respondent. He's the respondent in some cases. He was the respondent, and we had the petitioner pay us out based on our counter petition $75,000.
Ooh. Well, I'm going to say that, like, you know, on my people level, that's a lot of money, but I'm sure this was because for a business or corporation that covered, you know, some expenses.
It was the person responding to the case.
Oh, okay.
He got $70,000 as a result of my counterclaim. I didn't file the case. I just defended it, and in that defense, got $70,000 for him.
Win right there.
Boom. So I had an opposing counsel who, you know, knowing that I'm going to be out approximately July,
Mm-hmm.
she's trying to coordinate a date with me, and she's like, July 8th.
And usually, like, when we coordinate for a hearing, like, the common courtesy is like we throw out 3 dates, and then if it doesn't work, they throw out 3 dates, and, you know, we try to balance things out.
Oh yeah. So, and I was like, are you not understanding that I'm going to be having a baby? I'm not available that day.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, well, and she made some other comment, and I'm like, you want me to just hold the baby in so that you can have this hearing? Like, I don't understand what you're trying to say. Like, I don't understand.
I don't know how you kept your cool on that one.
I didn't. I said, do you want me to hold the baby in? Like,
well, like, knowing you, like,
she was so insulted.
I know you outside the firm, and, you know, there have been times where, like, you just like you go at it, and I guess that was like the professional way of, like, on that person.
It was. I felt rage.
And there were some comments coming back from opposing counsel that I'm probably, I'm an office away down the hall, and I can hear her comments. And she was basically, in layman's term, was like, okay, how's that my problem? That's literally how it sounded if you translate that.
Internally, I'm like, I'm making it wrong. I'm making this your problem. It is. You have no choice in the matter. And she was like, well, you have an associate in your office. I said, but my client is entitled to choose who she wants representing her.
Mm-hmm.
And she has chosen not to have that. And she tried to tell me, well, you said your associate could handle it. I'm like, I did not say that. I was like, I said I need to speak with my client.
Yeah.
So now that I've spoken with my client, I have filed the position that we stand upon.
Yeah, and nothing against the associate attorney. I mean, she's well knowledge, well experienced. It's that your client requests you because she's
you get to choose.
They're familiar with you.
You get to choose.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and you're entitled to the attorney of your choice, right?
Yes.
So what the problem is that my client, because I've had her case for over a year now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand her case has a certain level of complexity.
Yeah.
This particular opposing counsel, that my client is like, hey, I would prefer if you just continue on it because the continuous, you know, knowledge of everything that's going on. And this, I can understand why, you know, my client doesn't want her because she doesn't really know her, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
There are lots of good lawyers in the world.
Yeah.
But this doesn't mean you're going to hire them all, right?
No, 100%.
So she's entitled to the attorney of her choosing. And then opposing counsel. It's like I almost think it's like a joke. Because then she was like, well, you know, you don't need 12 weeks.
And I think that's when I came into the office, and I'm just like, oh boy, here we go.
She said 4 weeks. And I'm like, how do you know what I need, what my medical concerns are?
Mm-hmm.
And then another one of her arguments on this was that she thinks I filed the motion too late because I know how long a normal gestation is. Oh, okay. You're supposed to file it as soon as you know.
Now, I will give opposing counsel credit on this because when you would respond, she would take like 3 to 4 seconds to like put her words together. Because like,
and I don't need that long.
No, you don't.
I'm like, my words come out like bullets from a machine gun.
And she was carefully placing the word. I mean, choosing her words correctly because she was talking to another attorney, and all in all, I'm like, in my mind, it's like the Obama translator on P and Keel. On Key and Peele, where Obama says one thing and then the translator like, well, this mother, all that, and I have the Obama translator in my head with what this opposing counsel is saying, and I'm just like, damn, girl, you heartless.
That was heartless. And I told her, I was like, well, you don't really have any way to know my medical condition and how high risk I was as to whether or not I was going to be able to bring this child to term.
Exactly.
So I filed this motion as soon as I knew that this child was going to be brought to term.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh. Then she fell over. She could not believe that I reminded her that these medical conditions are more complex and that it's none of her business.
Yeah.
And now she's making me, she's going to file an objection and I'm going to have to go argue this in front of a judge.
Waste of the court's time.
Can you believe I'm going to have to actually argue whether or not I should have a maternity leave? And how much time I think is right for me, for my baby to enter this world? Can you believe somebody actually thinks they are entitled to object to that?
Here's a preview. If you're watching on the live feed, here's what's going on. The hearing starts, Your Honor. That's all you got to do. That's all you just stand up, point to the reaction kid on TikTok.
Yeah, I feel like that. I cannot believe she fathoms to fashion an objection to what I have for a medical need. Isn't that wild?
Some people in this world, some people.
And she definitely made sure to throw in some shade about the fact that I have a firm with associates and staff.
Okay.
And she was like, well, you have a firm.
In
my mind, I almost was like, sorry, you're a loser. I don't know what to tell you on how you should succeed and that you can. She's also been an attorney who makes these comments about how I'm not immediately available to speak with her.
Oh, I'm sorry you have clients. I'm sorry you have hearings. I'm sorry that you have a tighter schedule than loosey-goosey. I don't know.
Yeah, and I also respect my own time.
Exactly.
Because this is the same attorney who suggested that we have a mediation on Saturday or Sunday.
No.
Am I not entitled to a day off and to relax? You want to increase my stress level to 7 days a week or 6 days a week working because of what you want?
Inconceivable right there.
What is the matter with you?
I mean, working in this field Monday through Friday, we're at our desks. We're constantly looking at a screen. We're
10-hour days.
You're pulling some long ass days, and this past month, I've always walked out, and you're still in the office. The other day when I handed you the notebook for the trial, you were still here. You probably had another hour, two before you had to leave. I mean,
and then the next day I had to make sure that I dropped off that notebook at 8:00 right when the court opened.
Yeah.
Because I had a 9:00 hearing.
Oh, you could have asked me.
I know, but I live closer to this particular courthouse. It's fine. I got it.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. But it makes for. I have long days. I work hard. No problem. I'm taking Saturday and Sunday off. I will be too exhausted. Also, this is going to blow your mind, right? So
get ready, people.
Hold on to your shirts. I have a family.
No. Dun, dun, dun.
Listen, this is my aunt. Patricio. What is wild about this? This is a woman. A woman was like, you only need 4 weeks.
There's the twist.
How do you know what date I give birth and when 4 weeks starts? Wait. Are you going to be my first phone call when I give birth? Is that what you think? You think I'm going to send you the birth announcement?
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here. So disrespectful. So disrespectful.
Do you think because usually when I have arguments like this with other people and I'm trying for them to see it from my point of view, I say, well, how would you feel if the tables were turned and this was happening to you? Do you feel like that would have been like a strong argument against this person, or she wouldn't be able to respond to that?
I think she would have been like, well, if I gave birth, I would only need 4 weeks.
No.
I also, here's the other thing. I don't often make that particular argument, and I'm going to tell you why. I agree, Auntie. Beyond imagination. It is unfathomable.
Inconceivable.
Yeah. I don't care how she feels.
What's that? What thing you have up there? What does it say?
It's not illegal to be an asshole.
It's not illegal to be an asshole.
I don't care how she would feel. If they filed this motion, I cannot imagine I would not object to this. I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't. I don't care. Because you know what? This is the arrival of a human being. This is a custody case too.
Yeah.
So it's not like we aren't literally fighting over another child and being.
So the nerve of some people.
Wild. I cannot believe it.
So balancing the pregnancy, balancing the firm, balancing just normal human life outside the office. How are you doing? This dude's on a wheelie, full suit. Good for him. Sorry, squirrel.
Tie?
Yeah, suit and tie and everything, and blazer.
He came from the corner.
Your Honor, I couldn't find the lime.
Yeah. I'm delayed. So, I find some days it's hard. I'm not here to say that I do a good job at it all the time. Some days it is difficult. Some days it is, painful. Some days, it is hard to balance. I get frustrated, and life is like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I try to balance. But one of the ways I really try to make sure that I balance it well is by standing my ground and making sure that I also fight for my family.
Yeah.
So if I spend all this time fighting for your family, and I don't know them, and I've never met your children, and I just represent you, and I'm trying to do my job for your family, shouldn't I do the same for my family?
It's only fair. It's only fair.
So I don't understand why that blows people's minds. If I am willing to be a strong advocate for strangers' families,
Mm-hmm.
why wouldn't I do it for mine? And why shouldn't I? Don't I deserve a family too?
100%.
Aren't those the rights that I'm trying to make sure everyone has?
Everyone in this office has a life outside this office.
Yeah.
Especially you. You have a wonderful family. You're about to bring in a new member to said family. You deserve time away to be able to give yourself that mental health relaxation to be able to perform your duties as an attorney, as a business owner to its full capacity.
Also, check this.
Checking.
I like them.
Who?
My family.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm adding to it. I like them. I enjoy this time. My husband is particularly wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
My son is an amazing human being. I imagine this baby that I'm bringing into the world is going to add wonderfully to this crew.
Boss ladies make boss babies.
So why don't I get that? Why would people think that they should be like, well, I can't believe it. Well, I shouldn't have children?
I'm giving you your soapbox. Let it out, Erin. Let it out.
That was unkind. That was very unkind. I think that was insensitive and unkind.
Cases go on, life goes on, right?
Yep, no problem, because I know how to be assertive for my own family too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and
love you too, Auntie.
I will say that you did handle that conversation very, very professionally, and you got your point across. And for
She
her,
accused me of being unprofessional.
bitch.
I'm like,
I said it. Patricio said it. Okay.
I was like, me? She really suggested hearing times
On the weekend.
No, hearing times like exactly when my leave was.
Do you feel like that was just like a ploy on her part, or was that just like genuinely her availability? Because like we could set a hearing for next week or 2 weeks from now, but for it to be actually like right on your leave.
You know what I wonder? What she was thinking is like, what did she expect me to say?
Yeah.
Oh, I could cover music. If I'm in the hospital, I'll just Zoom. I'll do it from my phone. I'll mute when I need to push.
Got a message through our Facebook
see
Messenger.
I see it.
I'm trying to.
We'll have to answer this question in a few minutes.
Oh no, 100%. So we're gonna we do have some questions for you, Erin, and one of them actually conflicts with what you were saying this entire time. So I'll save that one towards the very end.
Am I gonna go on a rampage?
I feel you will. First question coming in. Husband and I have been married for 2 years. I'm buying a house, but we both agreed that his name will not go on the house. Would I be okay if we divorce?
No, it'll still be marital property unless you have a post-nuptial agreement identifying and showing that it's not.
Okay. So with a post-nuptial, even...
So file for your divorce, then buy the house.
But what if they're staying together? What if they're like they're buying the house?
And you need a post-nuptial agreement.
And that's the only way around it.
Yeah, because that which is acquired during the term of the marriage is considered marital.
Gotcha. I wonder why he wouldn't want to be part of the house. Maybe finances, maybe
he thinks it's a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have nothing to do with that.
Like if I'm married and we're getting a house, we're both putting in. Well, would I not?
So you're asking questions from a place of logic in a healthy relationship.
Oh, fair.
Right?
Yeah.
So we don't know what's going on with them, or maybe she knows that he has an ongoing case of some sort, even some civil case, and she's worried that they may take the house as a result of that case. So maybe it's some asset protection from certain liabilities, which is okay. If she's going to buy a house in just her name, it's in just her name.
Yeah, I mean she could be the majority breadwinner, right?
Or the other way around. He's like, all right, well, you buy the house, but let's keep it in your name because I don't really. This lawsuit that's been going on for 7 years, I don't really know what's going to happen with it, so I'm concerned, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, that's the way to think of it from not a they hate each other perspective.
So
there's always an explanation. That's why I'm a lawyer.
Oh yeah, no, and there's always two sides to the story. So, homeboy and homegirl, if you don't want homeboy on the deed or anything like that, and you don't want his name on the house, postnuptial is the answer, right?
For it not to be considered as a marital asset. Gotcha.
407-900-7451. We do prenuptials and postnuptials here at the Law Office of Erin Morse. Morse-firm.com. We do. All right, next question coming in. Here we go. In my judgment, I was awarded one of my husband's many cars. The day after the order was signed, the car stopped working. Is there anything I can do? It's a foreign car and needs to go to the dealer.
Yes, you could get it repaired. You have no action in the divorce court about the fact that it isn't as valuable as you thought. Sorry.
She picked the wrong car, Alex.
Yeah.
No, wait, what's his name?
Or the court was just like, this one goes to you. Right?
So if he handed her a car that just wasn't working, does it fall on her for not checking the car prior to?
Well, in my judgment, I was awarded. So You get what you get.
You get what you get.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the judge and the court doesn't make any determination as to whether like this is good.
Mm-hmm.
They only make determinations based on the evidence that's in front of them. So whatever evidence was presented to the court as to the value of that vehicle, that's what the court had to make a decision on.
So like let's say like, for example, a property, like you were given the house in the divorce, and now you come to realize that.
And then a month later, the market crashes. The judge had no control over that, right?
Mm-hmm. Or like what?
No recourse.
Or if the house like needed major repairs that the wife just wasn't privy to or aware of.
That has no bearing on divorces. You're just out of luck.
Shit out of luck. Okay.
If you guys bought crappy things,
Mm-hmm.
you're fighting over crappy things in your divorce. You get half of crappy things and you get half of crappy things.
So is it fair to say like if you're fighting for something, make sure like it.
So in these instances, if I were to have a client come to me
Mm-hmm.
and ask this question, I'm gonna pretend you're the client, right? You come and you ask me this question.
Okay.
This is what I want to ask you. What do you want the court to do?
I would want the court to have him or her pay the cost of the repairs. I'd ask for the vehicle, and I'm thinking like a client right now. I'd ask for a vehicle, but I didn't ask for a broken vehicle or a broken house.
You asked for that vehicle because we have to identify them with specificity.
Mm-hmm.
So these were the identified vehicles as being in existence as marital. Okay.
Okay.
So what do you want the court to do?
I want the court to award me a cost for repairs.
Okay. He has the other vehicles. Those vehicles need repairs. Are you prepared to pay half of the repairs for those vehicles?
No, he gave me a bad car.
Okay, that's not what I asked. So answer the question that I asked.
No, I'm not willing to pay for half the repairs.
Okay. Why do you think he should pay for the repairs on the vehicle you got?
I should have been given information that the car was not working properly or given me a different car.
Why?
Why would I want a broken car?
Well, but that's not, the court doesn't make an analysis
Mm-hmm.
as to whether or not the car's good.
And just so everyone's aware, like I am thinking like a client. These are the
Right.
questions that a client would be saying.
The
responses that they would be
You're
saying.
getting a little preview of what I'll do to you.
Yeah. well, no, I wanted the car, and the car should be working properly. It was working fine when it was when we were together, and now it's not.
Did the court, in your court order, say the working car, or did it identify this car in existence?
This car in existence.
Right. So you don't have recourse on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and if you did, I want you to know that he could come back to you on the other cars and likely would.
How so?
He probably will try to find what repairs need to be done on the other cars and try to tag you with them. So, and if your argument is then, well, he has more money to make the repairs, I would try to sell it back to him, right? See if he'll give you some money for it. There's no recourse because you have garbage, right? Because you have crap. Like we don't get to, that's like a fact that's in existence that we don't get to, and we don't have the opportunity to fix or change.
Are you live on your personal Facebook or your Instagram?
Personal Facebook.
Okay.
My Instagram has very few followers
Gotcha.
because I reject them. I do.
How often do you get friend requests from clients or just like parties you just had like a single interaction with and now they want to be your friend?
On Facebook pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
On Instagram, I mean, for both probably 2 to 3 times a week.
Damn.
I reject them.
You ain't got no business being Erin's friend.
I just, do you need to be all up in my personal life? We got a professional relationship, and I have professional social media.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to follow me professionally, because we have a professional relationship, that's where to follow me.
She has a professional Instagram. She has a professional Facebook. She has a professional TikTok.
I have a professional YouTube.
You do?
So I don't have a personal YouTube, and I don't have a personal TikTok.
Yeah.
So if you want to follow me on social media, follow my office.
Exactly. Go to morse-firm.com and click on the top right-hand corner where you see all the emblems for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything. And that right there, you'll be able to get a little glimpse of Erin, you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Actually, I post or have like actual content, even my own like this, more than my personal page.
Oh yeah.
By a lot. You follow me on my personal page, I'm never posting.
I never, exactly. I was just gonna say, you never post.
There's nothing to see. It's like you might think you want to connect to me on my personal page, but I'm like, nothing to see here. There's nothing here.
And I've said this on previous shows where like 2:00 in the morning, you'll send me something on Instagram. I'm like, you never post on Instagram. Why are you on Instagram?
Yeah, exactly. You're never here. What are you doing here?
So yeah, if it's worth fighting for, fight for it. If not,
well, there's no recourse for it under the law.
Okay. So that person, once again, is a shit out of luck. Yeah. And take these answers.
So the law is not capable of righting every wrong. So you were wronged, I know, by getting the crappy car with the engine problem, right? I was going to say with the shit box. But the court that doesn't mean the court can fix every time you're wronged. Hey, you're laughing harder than that, Samus. What you got?
No, our good friend Billy Floyd sent me a screenshot of your live on your Facebook. He's like, well, why is she live on both? I'm like, just let her live her life, and caught you with the eyes closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking deep into the microphone.
Yeah. So the next question coming up. Here we go. Currently going through a paternity action, and my ex went to so many consults. I've been conflicted out of all the attorneys I was considering. Why can't they represent me if she didn't hire them?
So Florida bar says so.
Now, this is interesting because
you could challenge it, but you're going to pay the attorney $4,000 to do so. And are you prepared to waste that? So what you should probably do is see if you can go out of town. Go to an adjacent city and see if you can get someone who's really good from an adjacent city. I practice in a number of counties.
Oh, yeah.
So if you think that's happened, go to an adjacent city. Honestly, like, there is a way to challenge it. There's a way to overcome it. There's a chance. But the easiest thing for you to do is go to the adjacent city and see who the rock star attorney is adjacent and have them run you.
You see, working criminal cases, like, we never had that issue. It was when I started working here in family law, I knew about that rule, and I saw it in the movie Marriage Story.
Oh yeah.
Where he had gone to another attorney for a consultation, and they called him back like, "Ooh, I'm sorry, you can't have the consultation with the attorney because your wife had a consult with him." And he's like just blowing up like, "But why? I came all the way out here," and stuff like that. It's just,
yeah, it's why we charge for consultations.
So they always say like it's a conflict of interest. Is it because?
It's because I now know the secrets that your wife gave me, and I would use them in obviously representing you.
There it is. There it is. Okay.
Or the mother of your child, right? So she told me a bunch of her like secrets, case strategy, thought about it, we strategized together, I gave her legal advice. And then if you hired me, I'm obviously going to use that, which should have been attorney-client privilege, which is what the purpose of having a consult is, so you can establish your attorney-client privilege. And, in being a zealous advocate, the risk is that I would use that secret information, that attorney-client privilege information, for a benefit in your case. And because the entitlement to an attorney-client privilege really rests with the client or potential client in the consult circumstance, it's not breached or taken away because they didn't hire. Gotcha.
All right. So next question coming up. Sorry, my phone blew up right there. Same person. My kid's father wants me to take him off child support because his girlfriend is expecting. Can you convince me to not give a F?
Yes, I can. I will tell you legally what and then interpersonally lie. First of all, the birth of another child or a second child in a subsequent relationship is not a basis for which a modification of child support can be sought. So you cannot get your child support reduced because you're having another child. So the law doesn't even allow that. So legally, you don't have to give a fuck. Legally, there are no fucks to be given, and that petition will be dismissed if he tries to bring it up on that basis.
I think I found the clip of the week, but I'm censoring it.
So, secondarily, the reason why you shouldn't give a fuck is because the reasoning underneath this, why the court feels this way, that it shouldn't be, is because you, sir, who are having another baby, are aware of your current child support obligation. The child that is already in existence doesn't cease to need to be supported because you chose to have another one. When you made the decision to have another child, you did so with the knowledge of your resources, finances, and current children. So, as it stands, you had to absolutely know what your financial resources are and if you would have been capable of caring for another child. The fact that you mismanage that is your own problem and not your previously born child.
Damn.
So there you go. Let's hope you don't give a fuck now.
There you go. Yeah, I know that there are some people out there that do get talked into taking away child support.
That's why you need to consult with me. Believe me, I'll convince you not to give a fuck.
Yeah. And they're like, no, he was good. He did this. They did
I
that.
have a few clients who I'm often like, you're being too nice. You are offering her or him more than they are entitled to under the law, and I want you to know that. So the fact that they didn't accept your offer for settlement is wild.
Mm-hmm. And now they're basically asking to get off the hook.
Well, and they're like, oh, but I'm willing, and I'm like, you're willing to give up everything? I'm like, who advocates for you? Why am I advocating for you to you? Why is this happening?
And no, I mean, I can't say that I can understand, but because working in this field, how would I say it? You feel bad for the other person. You feel no, I'm not saying you in general.
I was like,
I'm saying like
I think I do.
individuals specifically, like they feel bad. They remember the good times. They remember all the honeymoon phase and stuff like that. And sometimes
I don't remember.
and then there are times where the people who are basically telling the person, hey, take me off child support, they know what they're doing because they know they know who they're talking to. They know what to say. They know how to deliver. They'll do certain actions just to butter them up to ask for something. It's like when a kid is like, out of nowhere, just being super, super nice. Okay, what do you want?
Right.
Yeah.
The good news is, I don't remember the good times. I wasn't there. And I don't care. And when it comes to opposing counsel client, I'm like, most of the time opposing client, I'm like, I don't care. I don't know you.
I don't know you. Get off my purse.
Yeah, I don't know you. So you can't get sympathy from me because I don't have any.
Yeah. You've got no more fucks to give.
I never had any.
Thank you so much. And girl, don't keep him on child support. It's not your.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say it's not your fault. He stuck it in, and he wants to pull out of yours. You get
Next question.
Yeah. Next question.
That's it. Next up.
My child's mother has final say with school, but we share expenses. What happens if she chooses to put our child in a private school and I can't afford it? Is there anything I can do?
If you truly can't afford it, the court is unlikely to order you to pay private school unless you addressed private school specifically. Unless your attorney was smart enough to put private school specifically in your marital settlement agreement. So I may or may not have one of these very cases, and we put the private school in the marital settlement agreement.
Oh, okay.
Also, the other party is a high income earner. When you are a high income earner and you can show that there is one or both of your child who have special needs, and that the school for which you're taking your children would serve those special needs quite well, then yeah, you have the money, there's good cause, and you addressed it in the MSA, that's how you would be tagged with private school tuition or a portion thereof. Now, if those other things don't exist, then you ain't getting private school tuition charged against you. But we could tee up some facts. That's why you need to get me from the beginning.
407-900-7451 or morse-firm.com to schedule your appointment.
It's why. So we have the good basis.
Yeah. and that's wild. I mean,
here's the other part you want to add: ultimate decision-making authority. All of those things are really going to put the court in a position where they're like,
I would love to hear hear your opinion, but this paper says I don't have to.
Hashtag I don't like you. That's right, Adam. So on my personal life feed, he commented hashtag I don't like you. That particular individual who really don't like a party on his other side.
Gotcha. We have two more questions, and second to last, my husband's attorney is going on paternity leave for 3 months. Does that mean that my case will be put on pause?
Obviously, this one is alluding to what I'm about to do. With all my cases. Yeah, it does. So. I'm answering the question that a lot of my opposing parties will be asking. But yeah, generally it does.
But that doesn't mean it hurts your case. It doesn't.
For most of these cases, it's going to cause no harm.
Mm-hmm.
It really isn't. Okay? And yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to cause no harm.
Yeah, think of it as a video game. You know, you're playing, oh shit, something's got to happen. Pause.
No problem.
You're right in place. You haven't lost your checkpoint.
Courts don't work that fast anyway. If the pretrial conferences that I'm going to schedule trial are in some cases where I haven't filed for my parental leave, and they're not scheduling trials or hearings until late August, early September anyway. So there's actually not going to be that much delay on the cases anyway. And cases that are new that we're starting, once we get the initial paperwork filed, the other party has 45 days to do their mandatory disclosure, and then we don't go to mediation until after we have the mandatory disclosure. So, and that typically takes a month to get scheduled. So you're looking at, listen, I don't math. What's 45 plus 30?
45 plus 30, 70, 75.
75. You're looking at 75 days anyway before you're getting into mediation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really is not, because I worked the cases up until, D-Day, it's really not going to be a delay.
Okay. I saw that in the chat the other day, or was it today, where you said you referred it to D-Day. What is D-Day?
Delivery.
Oh.
I deliver the baby. That's right. You're welcome.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm running off of very little sleep in the past 48 hours. So my apologies for my stupidity. All right. So last question.
Also,
yes.
As you know, we have an associate attorney here.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything is an emergency or there any bleeding that needs to be stopped, she's well capable.
Yeah.
Okay. I've known her for a number of years, and she's very capable of handling anything.
And, just because you're not in the office doesn't mean like we are doing our best as I'm talking as the firm itself. We are going to do our best to not bother you, you being with your newborn. We don't want to mess that time up. But if there is an emergency, we are going to email you. We'll keep you posted with everything that goes on in the office. And I know your mentality when it comes to the passion that you have for your cases. I mean, you're not not going to be involved. You're going to be messaging us, hey, what's going on with this case? What's going on with that case?
Yeah.
I think you did that when you went on vacation a while back. You never go. You really don't go on vacation. You're still working.
Bad for my mental health, though. By the way, guys, if I can advocate for myself for a minute.
Yeah. No, I mean you're fortunate enough that you give us mental health days here at this office.
Yeah, I'm good.
I feel bad.
Whatever.
Last question.
Nobody cares. I'm giving birth and people don't care. A human being is gonna exit my body, and they're just like, "What about my case?" I'm like, should be glad I told you a month in advance. You're welcome.
Yeah. So, final question, and this one just, if my ex gets remarried, do I have to continue paying child support?
Yeah. Is your ex's new husband now gonna take custody of your child? Oh, I bet you don't want that. That feels weird.
Mm-hmm.
So then he's not responsible, or she is not responsible.
Yeah.
You gotta put Dee Dee's up there.
Oh wait, Dee Dee's in it?
The new person who gets married to your ex is not
Screaming.
screaming. Is not responsible for your child.
Yeah.
They're still your child.
They're still your child. They're still your kid. They're still your responsibility. Just because someone else is involved doesn't mean you have to.
They got remarried. Like, I know people who are in relationships
Mm-hmm.
and they have like a new significant other. And that new significant other just doesn't really take on any of the role of being like a major parental figure. Which blows my mind. I don't understand how you be around kids and not just like love them or try to do what's best for them or whatever. I don't know. I don't get it. I like kids, whatever. But like you're still, that person doesn't then become responsible for your child.
Yeah.
I don't know why it bothers people so much that they have child support.
That they have, or they
got a weird letter from the jail.
Get out of my head, Erin. So we're
The person in prison for 12 years wrote me a letter about his child support. So I'm going to answer this question that wasn't quite asked, but kind of asked by him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not watching
this. So Erin's reacting to the letter.
First of all, because you're in prison, that is actually not a basis for modification of child support. Because if you're voluntarily or underemployed, you are not entitled to a modification of child support, right? Like you can't be a rocket scientist making $400,000 with NASA and then take a job working at Starbucks and go, well, now I only make $20 an hour and get a reduction in your child support unless you can show that, you know, you can't work the prior income that you've had. So in the same way that you could not voluntarily underemploy yourself for the purpose of not paying child support or alimony,
mm-hmm.
the court considers your prison sentence your fault.
Well, here's a crazy plot twist. A plot twist. It is your fault. You're in jail, bro. I'm sorry.
It is, right? So the court considers like that you are unemployed. So you probably can't be held in contempt of non-payment of that child support, but your arrears, the clock on that,
mm-hmm.
keep ticking. So they're ticking up. So all of you in jail, all of you listening from jail are not getting a modification of your child support. They could get a modification of time sharing though.
They could.
And increase child support with your prior income.
And
the fact that you haven't had time sharing.
And we were talking about this right before
totally unfair. It's not unfair.
We were talking about this right before the show. Like, this is like the second letter we've gotten from a correctional facility.
Yeah, how do they find me? I don't understand. Anybody who's been in jail know if you have internet access?
Badass marketing.
Great. Can you market less to the prison? Can we zone them out? For the most part, I don't have the same access that criminal attorneys have,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they have different access points. You know what I mean? They go to the jail and they communicate with those clients there.
Yeah.
And they typically work in that environment. I'm not saying that they don't deserve representation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. It's not generally what I do. So it's probably best to have a criminal attorney who practices also family law to assist you on that.
Yeah.
Because I don't typically practice criminal. It is out of my wheelhouse.
Well, no, we when I worked for a criminal attorney, we would get calls from the jail all the time, and we actually had to have an account to be able to accept those calls because they call collect. And the reason why we would get the calls from the jail is that purposefully, when either the attorney or myself would go to the jail, here's a business card every time, in case someone that you're with right now needs an attorney. And we would always get like some good clients because their families would, like, hey, we got this card from the jail, let's get it going. And a high percentage of those referrals hired, and we would take their case. But I'm not giving your card out to the jails. Let's see. I told y'all they talk about you during downtime. My baby mama's hired this bomb ass attorney. Look at all my money.
That's happened a few times where the client has come to me and we always ask them like, oh, how did you get referred? Who can we thank? He's like, actually, who referred me is someone who I can't give their name because you beat them so bad in court. They wish they had you as a lawyer. So now I'm hiring you so I can have you as the lawyer. So we've had that happen a couple times.
A couple of times.
My opposing client sent me referrals. So thank you.
And we do get a lot of word of mouth, and people, and we've gotten some people from the podcast.
I'm sure that my opposing counsel from today will never refer to me kindly. I'm pretty sure I made her very upset for having a baby. I did it specifically to spite her, and she caught me. Let me see if I can read some of the comments. I have another one. This was a pro se litigant.
Okay.
So he is an unrepresented individual. So he's the opposing client in a case that I have. So let's see.
While she pulls that up, beginning June 12th, the Law Office of Erin Morse has been nominated for Best Local Podcast, Best Kept Secret, Best Local Big Shot for Erin Morse, and Best Advocate.
Best Pregnant Attorney.
We have 4 nominations in Orlando Weekly. Once the final round of voting begins June 12th, we're going to be putting that out there. Make sure to vote for Erin Morse for Best Local Podcast. Ooh, I just said because I got to do my own campaigns later on. Best Local Podcast for Legal Morse of Action, Best Local Big Shot, Erin Morse, Best Kept Secret, the Law Office of Erin Morse, and Best Advocate for Rights is the Law Office of Erin Morse. And when you ask about what rights we do, parental rights, because those rights still need defending. You find that find them comments?
Yeah. So he's objecting to my leave for having a baby, on the basis that in none of the communications, I'm not going to quote it directly.
Of course.
I'm summarize. So none of the communications when they were trying to schedule a hearing, did I tell him that I was going to have a baby?
I don't see how that is their business.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
to the contrary, she states that she's not available because of conflicts.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Respect it.
Sad to report that counsel for the respondent is showing a lack of professionalism since the beginning of her representation, using all possible excuses to delay the process, including not complying with the judge's orders. And this most recent, hiding the fact she's been pregnant and using this reason to delay.
She's not hiding.
It's none of your business.
Exactly. Damn, people.
A hearing was held April 7th, so I'm delaying it, despite the fact that I went to court in April on this case. Irony. For the petitioner's multiple motions, and they don't comply.
Mm-hmm.
He believes that I filed my motion for parental leave for purposes of delay in hopes of obtaining some benefit from the fact that she is having a baby. I got pregnant just to spite you.
Yeah, this was coordinated over 9 months ago. Precision and accuracy to the T, just to delay this specific case. Counsel. You know what? Let's.
They request that a hearing is set on the motion for contempt. Prior counsel for respondent leaves until September 20, or assigned attorney from her firm for this hearing.
She's we got a comment. You have to show them the belly, and if you would have watched earlier,
I'll do it again.
yeah, there we go. You know, I'm putting you up on the full screen in all your 1080 glory. Look at that.
This is
That
a
is
joke.
that is not a beer belly. There's a baby in there.
It's really in there, and it's heavy. It is very heavy, and it is big, and I've got to go through quite a medical procedure to have this baby. But of course I did it for this particular case.
Exactly.
Just to spite him. This is how I win.
This is a well-coordinated baby.
Gotcha.
So as we're heading out, Erin, what made you happy this week?
Today was, I fought so many people today. Oh my God. What made me happy? What did I have in the week? Let's make it professional. I'm not gonna make it personal.
Okay.
Okay. I like that. So
While you look at yours, I'll say mine.
Okay.
Passing my fitness test today.
oh nice.
That's what
You
made-
fit, huh?
I'm fit. According to Universal Studios, I am physically fit. So that made me happy this week.
Let's see. These were silly things. I spoke with a co-counsel that I have,
hmm
and him and I are really on board with the same things with this particular client.
hmm
That made me happy.
Oh, was this the one that you had in my office today?
No,
Oh, okay. Different one.
but he was great too.
Yeah, he was
Like,
chill.
Great, yeah. And that case is pretty complex.
hmm
The parties hate each other a lot, and it's ugly. The opposing counsel on the other side were also like not professional. It would make this case much harder.
Yeah.
I really want to thank him for being a good professional. Sometimes I don't like letting my clients know that I get along with the other attorney, but it helps their case so much if we can get along, even if they disagree. Because most professional attorneys, we really can shake hands and be like, hey, it's the clients, right? Like but you extend certain professional, like I told him, hey, I next month I'm having a baby and I'm gonna go out on maternity leave. He was like, no objection, no problem.
Yeah, even before you finished the sentence, he was
I
like,
didn't tell him what dates, I didn't tell him how long I think of it. He's like, no problem, you do what you gotta do.
mm-hmm.
So, and when he first got on the case, he wanted us to change a date for some reason. I don't even remember the reasoning because it didn't matter, and we did. So, what are you looking for?
No, I just hurt my hand again. Oh, sorry.
Are you okay?
No, it hurts.
Oh,
I just hit the bad knuckle on the desk and it just, that's excruciating right now. Sorry, folks.
I have an early hearing tomorrow. Don't I?
You do. And
Oh, tomorrow's gonna be a day.
mm-hmm.
We're gonna have a day.
So the thing that had made you happy this week was the communication that you had with an opposing counsel on a different case.
Yeah, our co-counsel.
Co-counsel. Oh, okay. I know which one you're talking about. Yep.
That case is pretty tough. Pretty big pain in the ass, and that co-counsel has been
Shut up, Dee Dee.
has been really helpful, because client management on this particular case is exhausting, and opposing counsel management is exhausting, but co-counsel has been pleasant, so that's a good thing. Baby room is done.
Awesome.
We
Ooh.
are ready for the arrival of the child.
Thank you for that reference.
So that's a good thing. That's fun. We got that done, last week or so. So now the only things we buy are things that are like silly crap.
Okay.
I got a stitched. I did mermaids as the theme. It's a baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this little crocheted mermaid tail to put her in for like newborn fit.
Aww.
And it's got like a little bra for her to wear. And the bra
Stop.
is like maybe this big. It's like the tiniest little thing.
The tiniest top ever.
Oh my god, it's so little. It's so adorable.
Oh.
So, yeah.
But as we're heading out, Erin, your final thoughts as we're getting out of here.
Be kind. Like, you don't need to forget about people being like human beings. When it comes to continuances or additional time or whatever, I nearly never object. Unless it's like the basis that they just got on the case the day before the trial and they want time to prepare. If it's a case I've been dragging along for 2 years, I'm going to be like, no, you took a case knowing the court might not grant your extension. I mean, that one I'll have trouble with, but typical reasonable extensions, like, I don't know, medical.
Mm-hmm.
I've never turned one down for a medical reason, ever. Even if I've had a couple of attorneys who I truly believe they were lying about the medical purpose, especially the way it came up, the way their case was going. In my mind, I was like, that ain't true. But there's nothing we can do about it, so we're gonna agree to the continuance. And I tell my client, they're like, but that's not fair. We don't think it's true. And I'm like, but you don't think you look like a jerk if we go to the hearing and tell them we think you can't have this because you had a heart attack and you need cardiac care, right? He needs it. Like, don't, even if it perhaps is untrue, save face with the judge.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. 407-900-7451 or go to morse-firm.com to schedule your consultation today.
Be a better person.
Be a better.
Advice.
There you go. We'll see you guys next week.